people? It's your boy Astro here, coming to you today with a Theory Tuesday. It has been like probably at least a year since I posted the last one, but we gained some new subscribers, and the reason that you're probably here is because you either saw the What If Wednesday or Theory Tuesday video that I've been plastering all over the One Piece YouTube verse to try and see if we could get some more people into these theories. So I made sure this week we came through with some fire. This Theory Tuesday is something that I am almost certain is going to end up coming through in the manga. If you couldn't tell by the title, this theory is going to revolve around none other than Jewelry Bonney. Second best girl in One Piece, only second to Robin. She's number 2, definitely. I could sit around and talk about Bonney all day. Trust me, I could. But we're not here to focus really on her physical features. Well, we kind of are, because of her devil fruit. And, Bonnie's been popping up in a lot of weird places, and I think a lot of fans are just not really, paying enough attention to the role that she could play in the future with such a broken power such as hers. Bonnie's one of the few characters in the series we actually do not know the name of her devil fruit. I don't know if that's for any particular reason, but I think that, most of us have a pretty good grasp on how her power works. Bonney can turn herself and those around her either older or younger. She can manipulate age. And in the One Piece verse where you have a few people that, are looking pretty damn scary, even in their age, getting the possibility to get back their youth, I think you know where I'm going here. Let's get right into the theory. So, I want to basically propose, what if the reason that Jewelry Bonney is so important to so many different people is because the power that she holds actually will at some point give the Gorosei their youth back. And I don't really see this theory around often, but I just think it's something worth talking about. We have the Gorosei, and, they are old for a reason. In my opinion, Oda doesn't necessarily, do things like this for no reason. All of them seem to be, 50 plus, around Garp's age, maybe around Rayleigh's age for some of them. Some look a bit older than the other. The one that was theorized to be related to Sanji looks to be the youngest, but he still looks like he's got a little bit of age on him. So, what if the reason that, if you remember, back post Marineford, when Blackbeard caught Bonney and Akainu came and said, "It absolutely sends a shiver down my spine to see you here, Jewelry Bonney." That comment was weird for a lot of people. It was weird for me because, to that point, Bonney was just kind of like, fan service, the whole Eden thing, her suggestive poses. It was up until that point where, it kind of flipped the switch for me. What is important about Bonney? Akainu would come there, Blackbeard just escaped. He did not even bother pursuing Blackbeard. Instead, he stood in front of Bonney and said, "You send a shiver down my spine." We're talking about Akainu, the person that just went up against Whitebeard, all the fleets, basically everybody, and murdered Ace in cold blood. Murdered him. That's what he did. It sends a shiver down his spine, Jewelry Bonney. I think the reason is, those higher up in the world government, the higher brass, know the potential of her powers. Let's talk about the Reverie. In the Reverie, we see Jewelry Bonney sneak in as an older woman. It is still up in the air what her actual age is and what she really knows. One thing that we did learn in the Reverie is that she's connected to Kuma in some shape or form, which would also make sense on the comments back in Marineford, where she was really distraught about the events that happened there. Perhaps she saw the state that Kuma was in at Marineford, and that's what kind of put her in that state. But there were comments at the end of Marineford, and she was crying at the results. And a lot of people thought it was because of Ace, but it seems that all things are pointing to it being because of Kuma. So, when she actually snuck to Reverie and saw that Kuma was being used as a mule in a very, very sad state, I think that the connection goes deeper. I think that the reason that Kuma, because we have to remember, people, Kuma voluntarily gave himself to the government to be operated on by Vegapunk. And as a revolutionary, it is tough to imagine why somebody would willingly do that. Unless he's going to be a sleeper and come back and do something later. He saved the Straw Hat, so I feel like he's already fulfilled his purpose in that sense. But think about it. Why would Kuma sacrifice himself, especially as a revolutionary? it doesn't really make a whole bunch of sense, unless he did it for the sake of someone else. And I think the sake of someone else, in that case, was Jewelry Bonnie. I think that, you know, it's hard to say if they're related. I doubt it, because there's not really a physical resemblance. Not that there really needs to be 100% of the time in One Piece. I mean, just look at Luffy and Dragon. They don't necessarily look very similar. But there is a relationship between Bonnie and Kuma. I don't think it's romantic. I think it's maybe family or raised her. We're going to find out anyways. Kuma likely protected Bonnie by giving himself up to be operated on and turned into whatever massive cyborg by Vegapunk. And that was probably the condition. I will do your bidding, world government, so long as you stop hunting Bonnie or give her time to escape and live her life. Which would explain why, when Akainu saw Bonnie, he was very concerned. Now, to the real big part of the theory here, guys, is that the Gorosei might have uses for that devil fruit. The Gorosei may just be the strongest force in One Piece since Zebek and Gold Roger. Roger's dead. Rayleigh has no need to fight. But the Gorosei could be smelling an impending battle, either with the worst generation or whoever climbs to the top to find the One Piece, whether it be someone from the worst generation or even Blackbeard, who's from the worst generation, but you get my point. He's not always referred to as that since he is a Yonko now. But whoever decides to make it to Raftel or Laftel and figure out the secret of the One Piece that is so dangerous that it would shake the world, the Gorosei would like to be prepared. There's one more option here. Zebek is dead. However, it's possible that he could be alive somewhere as an old man, existing silently, waiting for his opportunity to strike. I think that this theory ties into one more strange part that we see. Do you remember in the very same Reverie arc, we had a very suspicious visit from one Red Hair Shanks, getting a council with the Gorosei? Why would that be? A Yonko of the sea having counsel with the Gorosei, casually. We've seen Shanks do stuff like this before, the Marines trust him, but he was speaking of a specific pirate. Now, most people in the community would guess that pirate was Blackbeard, because they got beef, he got the scar from Blackbeard. Others would guess it's Luffy. Astro would guess that it's Bonney. The pirate that he'd like to speak about is Bonney, because evidently we have not gotten closure with Bonnie's character. In the Wano arc, we are knocking off most of the supernovas, getting their development, whether it be, Drake, Hawkins, Apu. We've had obviously multiple arcs with Law. We've had an arc with Capone. We haven't quite got Mad Monk yet, Mad Monk Uro. We haven't quite got him yet. But I had to take a dramatic water break. Bonney is about the only person that we have not gotten that character development and kind of more information on. I think that her part is going to come in the final arcs, where we need to see her in action, basically either against the Gorosei or against the world government, and I think that she's going to be used as a tool to make the Gorosei stronger or younger or more youthful. And then we're going to have a large-scale battle between the Straw Hat Pirates, the worst generation, versus the young Gorosei, while Luffy and whoever else goes after possibly Imu. Only time will tell. But this has been my Theory Tuesday. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I've given you a little bit to think about. Just to summarize it again, people, Bonney is important because her power can actually turn the Gorosei back to their youthful stages, so they'll be ready for whatever impending war. That's why Akainu was afraid of her. I think that Kuma also realized that she was important, and that's why he sacrificed himself to make sure that she wasn't being pursued. Also, Shanks knows of that importance, and the pirate that he is speaking of to the Gorosei in Reverie is none other than Jewelry Bonnie. You heard it here first. If you enjoyed this theory, please give it a like. Please give it a share. I'm trying to grow this channel. I'll be coming out with well thought out theories every single Tuesday or Wednesday. Tuesday's more for things I think are likely to happen. Wednesday's more as like a what if. You'll get at least one video a week. I tend to like the Tuesday videos more because on my second channel, Shonen Ketchup, I do my new show, or at least release the video on Wednesdays. But it's fair game either Tuesday or Wednesday on Astroreviews. Again, if you'd like to check out a weekly Shonen show talking about the best in Shonen, check out Shonen Ketchup. That's SHOUNEN ketchup, like the condiment, Ketchup, no spaces, Shonen Ketchup. Check that out. I'll put a card up there. If you made it to the end of the video, please let me know your comments, your thoughts, and if you're somebody that just joined the channel, just subscribe to Astro, I'd like to say sincerely thank you. That is one step closer to the dream I have of being, a content creator and a staple in this community of this manga and this anime that I love so much. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you, stay safe out there, and I appreciate you. Bye.